American Builder starts right now.
Starting a brand new commercial project, a huge commercial project. So I take my buddy Dan with me and I give him the lowdown of exactly what we're going to do for the next year. It was an apple orchard. A year later, it is going to be insane.
How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Nice to see you.
Thanks for bringing me out in the cold and the snow.
Yeah, well, I think this was your choice, not mine.
Nothing gets construction going better than snow for some reason. Everybody just works harder all of a sudden because they want to get closed in. So welcome to Apex, New England, here in Marlborough, Mass. on Route 20. There's about 4,000 linear feet of frontage on Route 20. We are standing in the first building, which this is a Hyatt hotel. So there's the Hyatt, there's a Fairfield Marriott, and I can go on forever. There's a lot of businesses right here, just about to start.
This is 44 acres, is that right?
Yeah,
About 44 acres?
Mm-hmm.
And so the hotels are coming in first, is that the whole process? Like what is the plan exactly? Like what comes in first, what comes in last?
If you know anything about us and how we develop, everything's first. You just go as quick as you can go. And our goal here was to get concrete slabs in, to get some steel up because here comes winter. And we're about where we want it to be. It is starting to snow, like we can see behind us. New England's going to hit sooner or later.
Right.
So the deal was as much frame as we can get up quickly. That'll give us things to do all winter long. Like every huge construction project, it seems like we only start when it's freezing out, right? So what's the first headache on everyone's mind? We cut down all the trees and people come out of the woodwork about we're destroying the land. What they don't realize is there's about $3 million worth of contaminated soil that we have to deal with first because it was an apple orchard. Think about it, for years now, spraying chemicals on the apple trees. So it's not all that bad.
So obviously there's a lot of construction going on right now, but what was here before?
This was an apple orchard back in the day. So 40 some odd acres of apple orchard. They took off 17 inches off 40 some odd acres of land, which is tough to do. It blends with different soils. I won't give you the complete chemical background to that. And then it gets tested by the state. It's deemed safe to use, and back it goes down. So this was a challenge because taking off 17 inches of soil, we found out just how much ledge was in this area, and you don't know how much ledge you have until you start blasting. We've been blasting for weeks, absolute weeks, 3 times a day, shut down the highways, 10 state troopers. It's been a challenge.
What about before that, like with all the trees? I mean, was that a process first, just getting in here and clearing everything out?
Clearing the trees, coming across some old foundations, boats, motorcycles, cars.
What kinds of things are you going to be showing the folks at home?
Oh my God, get ready. So there's so many moving parts for every single building that we do, right? Just take the hotel, for instance. The furniture and the carpeting, there's miles of it. The pool behind us, the guest services, and how you pull up with your car, the mezzanine level. When it starts to really go together, you'll see what it takes to build a hotel. There's so much underground right now that we've already done. There's miles, and I mean miles, of underground utilities already in. And you can see the stub-ups everywhere in here at the hotel. Yeah. This is the point that you hope you got it right. Because when you and I are sitting here in a few weeks and there's walls going up, this better be right where it's supposed to be because it's too late, right? So you have all that stuff for sure.
The very genesis of this project came between the mayor and who was it?
Robert Walker, a good friend of mine, been in business. We do a bunch of stuff together for years. So the story goes that the mayor, Robert, and a few other guys were really having a cup of coffee over a different project. And the mayor came up with, I've got a site that's right on Route 20. It's a much bigger project than you're talking about. It was the mayor's idea to put this on the map, and he did well. It's on the map. On a project this big, typically not everyone is in love with it. So Robert Walker, who doesn't have a complete horseshoe in his ass, he gets beaten down plenty of times and loses money. Not this time. The mayor of Marlborough is all excited about this project. A project this size, you have the mayor on your side, you have a developer like Robert Walker. What more do you need? This thing's gonna fly.
To get something like this going, you need a lot of this.
You're looking for approval of the elevations, monument signs, retaining wall, I believe.
Before all that started, though, there was a vacant piece of property up for sale and a mayor with economic development on his mind.
It went from a phone call for a restaurant to a facility with 2 hotels, probably 4 to 6 restaurants, an entertainment facility.
It's been a whirlwind in many ways. We first had to change the zoning to allow for this type of development there. Then the second part was to do a master concept plan. From there, we go to the development agreement and really get down to what will the signs look like, where will the buildings be.
Once completed, the Apex Center project will provide the city with roughly $1 million in revenue per year. That, of course, is huge for Marlboro.
Well, you know, the entertainment part of it is the interesting thing for our residents, for our visitors, for the business community.
As we just saw there, there's a lot of balls in the air at one time with the city council getting everything approved. But then you have permits and you got OSHA, so talk about that.
Safety, permits, OSHA.
Stupid safety?
Yeah. So safety is the #1 concern. It's a dangerous site. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
There's millions, I mean millions of dollars worth of equipment flying back and forth all day long. Excavators, the largest dump trucks you've ever seen in your life. They're called T-Rex. Yeah, they're T-Rex for a reason. Yeah, my truck could fit inside one of them.
There's welding going on behind us, and as we know, you're not supposed to look at that or you'll go blind. So there are a lot of things on a construction site like this that the average person really doesn't know about, that being one of them. What other things?
So as far as safety goes, and it's learning for everybody, on a big site like this, you'll see on the upper floors there's cables around for safety. 2 cables around a floor means it's safe for other workers to be there. 1 cable around means nobody goes there except for iron workers and people doing welding. No cables, nobody. Just nobody. Yeah. Just the iron worker himself standing on a piece of steel. Whether it's snow, rain, doesn't really matter. But you can see from the outside what's safe. Okay, I can get my guys over there to start doing some rough electrical or some rough plumbing because there's 2 cables, right?
As this series goes on for the next year, we're going to be hearing a lot of details about each of the machines and just how interesting it is to have a huge project like this.
Take the pump truck that was here yesterday doing the deck above us, right? The pump truck and 1 cement truck behind it. Those 2 together are about $1,400,000, just those 2 trucks. Wow. Just those 2 trucks. And behind me, there's 30 different pieces of vehicle. I mean, there's seriously $100+ million worth of equipment here, which is crazy. So a little plug for the mayor of Marlboro, Mass. How cool and collected is this guy? Most times, hate to say it, that position is a stressed out lunatic when it comes to big projects. This guy's just chill. He's just calm. He likes the project. He sees the financial gain for his city. His city is right on 495, right outside of Boston, Mass. Not a bad location, let me tell you. So, got to throw a shout out to him. Thanks for all your help so far, Mayor. Now, American Builder Classic. Everybody keeps asking about the classics. My producer John's doing great at putting them together, and this is a classic. Hopefully, the second time I cut a poem. Hopefully that's right. All right, so coming up next, an American Builder Classic, and I mean a classic. This is back in the day. We were doing a job at night. There is, okay, I can say it, no permits, nothing. Electrically, things are going wrong. I got Jimmy there, I got my buddy Larry, an old friend of mine, Brian Sluzar. We're doing Demo 101, like complete balls. Hey, this morning we're doing some demo in an office building. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's a little grumpy.
Nothing like the layer of sheetrock to start your Monday.
Everything's in the way. Everybody is pissed off at everybody. Hey, get your shit out of the way.
Get my out of the way. Out of the way.
So far, not so good this morning, but we're doing the demo. There's dust everywhere. Hey, it's girls gone wild. Let's get outside and see how they're doing. You're still paying your bill. I'm locked up.
You might just put the switch or something.
Trying to pull these studs out. save the electrical, but we already shot something out somewhere. All of a sudden the lights went out. We do need an electrician up here now. The electrician just showed up. They're gonna try to straighten out this wiring mess. They got their work cut out for them.
Enough with the hammers.
Perfect.
45 seconds to rip a wall down. I like my way a little bit.
Cut this smaller next time. Cut it in slices, because that's gonna, we're never even gonna get it down there. We cut the whole heating system out of the office for some reason. Nobody knows why. Every unit in the building right now is off. Not that happy. And you're gonna get this all back up and running?
Yeah.
He'll have this going in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. 15, he's a professional.
Yeah, he's a plumber.
He's gonna just put it back together, do what I just told him. Unbolt it from the wall, follow it up, bring it down, put it on the wall.
Fucking lost. This is all bad.
He's got it.
Looks like me over there.
Go ahead, buddy.
Want me to
He's
get
all
it?
set.
I'm in a horrible situation here. Down in this other hallway, down there.
Can't get out that way.
This thing's fucking pissing me off today.
You want the key?
Seriously?
Yeah.
I have a key.
Good. So today, right?
Steel. It's all steel.
It's all about steel. Before we start unloading tractor trailer after tractor trailer of what seems to be a mess all the way around the building, I'm going to show you where it comes from. Capone Iron actually fabricates the whole building about 50 miles from here. So we're going to take a little factory tour. I call it a field trip. You're going to be very impressed with it.
Dad started the business back in the 50s, early 50s. Married with 2 kids, working at a shipyard, working at a gas station, and making wrought iron railings in the basement of his home in Winthrop. And he moved on to open his small iron shop in Everett with my 2 older brothers.
So our project in Marlboro, Mass, the Hyatt is the first building to go up, and that's going to push the schedule of the whole project going forward. So what do we select? We got Capone Iron. I got my buddy Eric here. Eric, so it's done being bid out in drawings, and now it's time, right? Now you're behind because you won the job already. Now you're behind, like day one.
Yeah, it seems like we're always a little behind. But
Give me the flyover from, you said it comes in there, fabricates here, goes out there, all one big step.
yeah, I mean, the idea is positive material flow. Trucks come in on that side of the building, and material is then processed through either the plasma cutter or the drill. It hits benches where I have fitters reading the blueprints and assembling, and then it's checked by me, and welders come along behind and empty the bays of all the welding.
Simple as that.
It is that simple. It's a lot of work, but it is that simple. And it just moves from there to there,
You mentioned tonnage. Is that how you measure jobs?
Yeah, well, it's how we measure everything. You know, more tonnage, more money. So it basically, you know, I think last year we put out 5,750 tons, which for a company our size is pretty good.
Right.
So when we see a job like the Hyatt, I believe that was a couple hundred tons. It's not a huge job for us, but it is a good sized job.
So 6 stories is not a big job for you. It's an okay job.
Yeah, it's a good sized job, but it's not anything massive. We've had some jobs as big as over 2,000 tons in a single job.
Gotcha.
We do some jobs that are as small as you know, somebody's back porch on their house made of steel.
So I see the raw steel down there, but you also have a tractor trailer back here ready to go. That's going that fast. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if we're working like we should, it should be about a trailer a day at least. Coming through the shop completely fabricated.
Every single day.
Yeah, if we can help it, if we got the work behind us, yes sir.
Steel, to me, being in the trades, steel is where people get hurt, right?
Oh, it can be dangerous.
Nobody gets hurt doing drywall, let's face it. Right? No, I got you. No. Not a lot of plumbers got killed yesterday, but steel, even here, seems to be the more dangerous end because just things going by, flying by.
Absolutely.
Every single part of it, and Capone's known in the business for safety, and I see them in the field. They've got safety people online. I mean, yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that don't have that, right?
Yeah.
So how do you keep this part safe? Because there's welders, there's cutters, there's trucks, there's 5-ton lifts going overhead, bringing things back and forth.
I think number one is training. I mean, especially here, we're lucky enough to deal with some youth. We've got some younger guys from local high schools.
Yep.
And you know, I got to keep an eye on them a lot. But just like even somebody green coming in, you got to make sure they're completely aware of everything they're doing and how dangerous it is, especially operating the crane. Like you said, steel, it is dangerous. You could get hurt. So,
yeah, you've got these 5-ton babies going back and forth like there's nothing, and everybody seems to be okay with it. Everybody.
Yeah. I mean, you know, just got to watch the newer guys and make sure they're doing everything right. It is so simple to get complacent and accidentally knock something over, and it's not like knocking over a piece of drywall.
No. You knock something over here, you're dead. You're absolutely dead.
I broke my own leg when I was younger.
Did you really?
In this industry, and I know a lot of people that have been injured because you just get comfortable and you're not looking, and that's it.
No one falls off a pile of drywall. We used to joke in the field, right? But when you fall off 30 stories high hanging steel,
that's terrifying.
You only get a little time to think about it because you're done. Sorry, it's not an OSHA training video. We're just going over some of the points of how bad steel is. It's all about steel at this point. So not wood, steel. We picked Capone Iron to do the first building, and I show up at their shop, and to see a steel building in 3D CAD spinning around, they're structurally looking at things, they're trying to put the stairways in. This is not for dummies anymore. Steel buildings requires smart people. If you think any different, you're wrong. This is some heavy steel right here. Yeah. This is the real deal. Yep.
And so basically, these are called bolted moments.
Yep.
And the beams have to. They also have holes that would correspond with these. Slide into it, and everything has to be pretty well lined up, or you're not going to get every bolt in there.
Yeah, you're not going to move that around to make it fit.
Absolutely not. No, there is no play in this once it's welded. It is done.
All right, we're heading down to the big fun machines.
It will cut up to 3.5 inches thick steel, and actually, it's accidentally set itself on fire on the internal cabinet before because it's so powerful. It's a stream of molten metal like you've never seen.
So we're still at Capone. Hear what he just said? That plasma cutter can cut a piece of steel 3.5 inches thick. That's absolutely insane.
It is hotter than the sun, I'll tell you that. At the actual
it's like a full gigawatt.
21 gigawatts!
That's what I'm hearing right there.
What it's doing here, it switches. It knows whether it's got the material on one side or the other. So it brings the material in. If it's going to make cuts on the left-hand side, the table rolls away on the left, and then it makes the cuts there. Or vice versa, if it's on the other end of the material, it knows it's on this side, it moves the table out of the way on this side, and then it makes the cuts over here.
He's checking it by hand, even though you just had a robot do it with a computer. He's still checking it.
Just like anything, machines go wrong. Right. It has a measuring wheel and a sensor for reading the end of the material. It could have misread something. It could have missent something, and so he's making sure that everything's running properly. He doesn't check 100%, but he checks a lot.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it is necessary because if you assume that everything's fine and you just keep pumping material out and it's wrong.
We both know there's not a day that everything's fine.
No.
Doesn't matter what business you're in.
No.
No.
when it hits go, and then it knows to pull the piece back till it sees the lead end of the material.
Right.
When it does, it knows it's right at the beginning, and it knows what to do from there, and then it's pretty much automatic. It does all the other stuff. It automatically feeds it out because it knows the length. It automatically pushes it onto the outfeed table.
We're in New England weather conditions, right? He's not even out there with a bunch of guys. It's pulling it in from the outside. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, doesn't matter. Bring it in, it sets it up. That clamp just put it into place. It looked like you could crush a car, right?
Yeah.
I know it's in place. It's not moving.
It's not moving, no. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get your hand in there. I'll tell you that. But so now basically what the robot does, now that it knows where the lead end is, it sends it out to a certain point using a measuring wheel. It knows exactly how far out it is, and it's going to go touch sense the material. So it knows exactly where the material is, that the material is the right size. If he told that computer that this was a piece of material that should have been 14 by 6,
right, and
it actually was 13 3/4 by 6, it's going to stop and say something's wrong.
It would know.
It knows.
All right, so Capone, they're great. Why did they get the job exactly, though?
You have a lot of people bidding on every aspect of the job, no matter where you are, right? So it's not the cheapest guy, it's not the highest guy. A lot of times it's the middle guy in negotiation. So we seriously look at Capone as one of the safest people that we've ever dealt with in the past, right? So his number doesn't matter for a second because in safety, he gets a high score. Now the number does start to matter, and we have to tweak it a little bit. There's only a few guys that we're totally in love with. When it comes to the important stuff, like steel, there's probably 3 or 4 people that bid this job. They're all qualified, and then you really get picky on who. I fell right back to Capone. I've known them forever. I knew their dad back in the day. We're not going to have a problem with them. Yeah. I hear all the time how steel is expensive, right? Think about what we just did here. Between cutting it, going through the factory, how many people are inside here, putting it on a truck, and about a truck per day, they said, rolls back out there. You're talking about a tractor trailer full of how many tons of steel rolling down a highway. It's winter conditions, there's cranes, I mean, to me, steel is inexpensive, not expensive. From that to that to that to a truck to a crane to, hey, go upstairs and sit in your conference room. Boom, just like that.